Okay, these are pads. This is an old squeegee blade that has been chopped up, but you can use anything as long as each of them are exactly the same thickness. So best to cut these 4 squares out of common material. So I'm putting each of these 4 under the 4 corners to elevate the mesh off the table. So the mesh will not be on the table when I'm tightening. Okay, we're on to step 3 now. And the first thing I have to do is I'm going to rotate that roller. To rotate that roller, I'm going to have to make sure that the locking bolts in the 2 end are loose. So this roller is free to rotate. And then I'm going to take my 1 1/4 inch wrench and I'm going to put it on the nut end of the roller. And here's the critical part. Start with this wrench straight up, 12 o'clock, every time. And then we're going to rotate the wrench until the angle between the wrench and the mesh is about, by eye, 40 degrees. That's 40 degrees, I think. That's good enough. And then I'm going to take this socket wrench and I'm putting it on the opposite side, and I'm also at 12 o'clock forcing that corner down so all 4 corners are touching the pads. And then I'm going to tighten up with my left hand. I don't care whether you're left-handed or right-handed, this is the way to do it, always the same. And I'm going to tighten by first pushing, pulling, and you can hear a couple click-clicks, but at all times I'm tightening with a short arc, and I'm keeping the pressure down so that corner does not have a chance to lift off the table. And do not over-torque the bolt. Just tighten enough so the roller doesn't unravel. Now I'm going to go to the other side, short strokes, boom, done. Okay, if you don't keep the pressure on the corners, you'll end up with a warped frame, and we'll talk in a minute what to do about warped frames. Okay, by coming over to 40 degrees like that, I've created a certain tension in this direction, and that tension is the correct tension for this mesh count, or any mesh count. It's always the same. Now I'm going to tighten up from one of these long rollers. So I have to first loosen up the locking bolts. So this long roller is free to rotate. And I'm going to start with my wrench at 12 o'clock, and I'm going to go half of 40 degrees and stop. And then I'm going to put my wrench over here, push the corner down to the table, keep these corners nailed to the table, snug up the bolt. Boom. And now I'm going to repeat the process, do the same thing on the last corner. So first loosen the roller so it's free to rotate, flip my wrench, and go half of 40 degrees, stop, put my wrench on here, and keep the pressure down on those corners, don't let them lift. Boom, done. That's all there is to it. Have a very nice tight screen now. But we know in 2 hours the tension will decline 25%. And we're going to check to make sure the screen is flat by pushing on the 4 corners. And you can see there's no rocking in the frame, which meant I kept the pressure on the 4 corners. However, when you do that, if you find the frame is rocking, here's the solution. Let's say in this direction it's rocking like that. How do you fix it? Well, if it was rocking in that dimension, I put my heel of my hand here, say pressure here, 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 and I would remove the pad from that corner. And I would just push down on that corner. If you do not over-torque these bolts, you'll feel the corner give a little bit, and then you can put the pad back in underneath the corner and check it, and you'll find that the frame is now flat. If you find that the frame is not flat, it continues to move, that means the corners, the bolts here have been over-torqued. They're too tight. You're going to have to loosen up a little bit. So, inserting the mesh, soften the mesh, tension the mesh. 2 hours later, come back and retighten just by moving the wrench a couple of minutes on the clock to recover the lost tension. What we have demonstrated is where your problems are coming from in your screens. We talked about color registration, ink buildup, flash curing, slow printing, where those problems are coming from and what the solution is. It's get a Newman frame. If you have any questions, give us a call, send us an email, we'll help you. We look forward to hearing from you.